Every single time a black leader rose to power in America, the same weapon was used to tear them down. For 150 years, the pattern never changed, and what just happened proves it's still happening today. 1870. Hiram Revels becomes America's first black senator. According to historians from W.E.B. Du Bois to David Blight, racist imagery depicting black legislators as apes, monkeys, and savage brutes exploded across American media almost immediately. These weren't accidents. They were weapons designed to destroy black political power. During Reconstruction, over 1,500 African Americans held elected office. Men like Robert Smalls, who escaped slavery, commanded Union ships and became a 5-term congressman. Benjamin Turner, sold at age 5, who became a self-made businessman and U.S. representative. The Jim Crow Museum at Ferris State University documents how white supremacists responded. Political cartoons flooded newspapers showing black legislators as apes. Textbooks taught children that black people were childishly ignorant and unfit for office. As documented in Time magazine's analysis of Reconstruction, what historian Rayford Logan called the nadir of American race relations saw an explosion of white supremacist imagery across every medium designed to warp minds toward racist beliefs. The strategy worked brutally well. By 1877, federal troops withdrew from the South. White Democrats used this imagery alongside terrorism and mass violence to justify stripping voting rights from black citizens. In Louisiana alone, according to National Museum of African American History records, 130,000 black men were registered to vote in 1896. By 1904, that number dropped to 1,342, not through persuasion, through propaganda and violence. Fast forward to 2008. Barack Obama becomes America's first black president. The pattern resurfaces. According to Axios reporting, monkey and ape imagery that had been politically disqualifying for decades suddenly spread across fringe spaces. When it crossed into mainstream politics, careers ended. Roseanne Barr's show canceled within hours in 2018 for comparing a black Obama advisor to Planet of the Apes. Los Angeles City Council President Nuri Martinez resigned in 2022 for calling a black child a little monkey. California GOP official Marilyn Davenport faced formal reprimand in 2011 for circulating an email depicting Obama as a chimpanzee. But here's what changed. As documented by PBS and historical archives, there's a centuries-old racist trope comparing black people to primates. It dates back to the 18th century pseudo-science used to justify enslaving Africans. Thomas Jefferson himself wrote in Notes on the State of Virginia that black people were biologically inferior. This dehumanization wasn't random hatred. It was systematic justification for oppression. For 150 years, every time black Americans gained political power, this same imagery was weaponized to delegitimize them. From Reconstruction legislators to Obama. The goal was always the same: convince white Americans that black people were subhuman, dangerous, and unfit to lead. February 2026. The current sitting president posts then deletes a video depicting Barack and Michelle Obama as apes. According to NBC News, the post stayed up for 12 hours before bipartisan outrage forced its removal. Even Republican Senator Tim Scott called it the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. But here's the critical part. Axios noted that imagery which once ended careers now barely produces consequences. The taboo that protected democracy for decades has collapsed. This isn't about one person or one party. This is about recognizing a weapon that's been used against every black leader who dared to rise. From senators in the 1870s to presidents in the 2000s. The tactics evolved. The technology changed. But the strategy remained identical. Dehumanize to delegitimize. History doesn't repeat, but it sure rhymes. And right now, it's screaming at us to pay attention. What do you think happens when we normalize what used to be career-ending racism? Drop your thoughts. If this opened your eyes to a pattern you never noticed, share it. Because the only way to break a cycle is to see it clearly first.